Hi, everybody. Just wanted to give another 100 milligrams. I just did the first 6 signs for the words of the wise, and I wasn't gonna do anything else. I'm not doing any of the other signs tonight, but I'll do this 100 milligrams. I want to pull a Journey of Love Oracle by Alina Fairchild. The Void. So there's a lot to be filled. You can have a sense of a lot missing as well. Be careful to not be in a lack mentality of feeling like you don't have enough. Energy Oracle cards, Sandra Ann Taylor. Adjacent possibilities. So while you're biding your time and you're kind of just getting bored or feeling like there's nothing that you could be doing right now, all those things that you do when you procrastinate is what you should be doing for the rest of your life. This is what I do. Seriously. I bullshit you not. A whole binder and hundreds of pages of research, readings, epiphanies relating to this work. So what could you do with it? Adjacent possibilities, the void. What are we looking at? What you no longer should be doing or could be doing or are no longer able to do? What are the messages here for this here? You felt like you were stuck. You felt like there was no way. Say you were in a dead-end job and there was no way that you could get out of it, and now you're out of it, and now you don't know what the fuck to do with your time. You have absolutely no clue what else you should be doing because you hadn't allotted that time that life could be any different, that you could actually use that time for something that you wanted to use that time for. What's that talent? What's that craft? What's that trade? That ability? That thing you wanted to try? Yeah, it looks nice, but that recipe, remodeling that part of the house, changing the way your bed sits. You want it to face the window or away from the window, or just rearranging some shit, your furniture, feng shui. Justice. This is karma coming to aid you, because where there was emptiness, where there was a void, you really didn't have anything particular in mind. It was actually in that openness, it gives you a lot of opportunity. So, adjacent possibilities, it's just confusing because there are so many options. It's like, well, what do I like? Have you even had the time to get to know yourself? Because it's like, okay, well, I am no longer known as this position or this job title or this particular type of person, which your identity was pretty much centered around because you did it so often or spent so much time there doing that. that when it came to, what do you like to do for fun? All I do is work and go home. Yeah, we're shaking shit up. It's about damn time, says Justice. Your job. This has the same symbolism as the Hierophant with the hands here. Your job may not be recovering from anytime soon, I'll say. So the position that you once held, you're kind of held up in this station as if any day now they could call me back, or, I don't know, after 2 weeks or so, I can go back and do what I was doing, or, maybe I can do it remotely. No. For some, no. For some, there's a pause, a wait. For others, there's no going back to that. It doesn't even exist at this point as an option. This is where there's a void. And trying now to fill it with something is like, what can I do with all this spare time, that 40 hours, 40 plus hours a week that I've been spending? Also, with the time that you spent commuting, getting ready to go there, prepping your clothes the night before, or whatever you do, mentally preparing yourself an hour before you even start to get ready for work. So, what do you do now? What do you do now? Underneath the Ten of Swords is death. It's over with. What do you do now? This changes everything. Ooh, got a little bit saved up? You got a couple of things that you're good at? A couple things you were working on? Maybe. Unfinished projects? What now? What do you do now? What do you do now? Oh, manifest. You go from waiting. This is the source you've been getting your stuff from, right? And it's over with. It's over with. Okay? And that's what something you were relying on. And it's like, there's no certainty in that at this point in time. This is what you're being asked to do with all that free time. Make some shit happen. Do that shit. Write those recipes down. Write down, take pictures of those quilts, those crochet, knitting, sewing, whatever the fuck you're doing, those customized shoes that you're making or somebody else is making, if it's inspiring you and you want to try it, you just see some the plain white cloth shoes, we call them white girls. No offense to anyone. They're just what they're called. The Mr. Rogers solid color shoes. Paint them. They'll be unique to you. Design them. Bedazzle them. Shit, bedazzle yourself. I don't know. This is magician energy. It's saying that you can do whatever the hell you want to do right now. And don't have to worry. There's no judgment. Unless that's judgment. No, it's the Empress. Talk about master manifester. You know what makes the Empress pregnant? A magician and a wand. I don't have no magician. So ain't no wand over here. That what you're doing in your spare time? I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. When I said shake some shit up, all this darkness, all this shit being over. When I said create something and make it happen, that's what the fuck I meant. What's the outcome? Queen of Pentacles. I don't think I need any more cards. What's the outcome? Here we go. Get down on it. That's what I heard. Why spirit gotta be graphic with me? This 7 energy. And this reminds me of like the 7 of Cups. We're having all the possibilities and different ways that you can, different opportunities you can take up, different directions you can, and you don't have to, none of them are set in stone either. I think you can peek your head in, read some reviews, look at a couple tutorials. There's nothing that is like when you're actually like, you say you're job hunting and you accept, you're not going to get stuck in it if you have so many different avenues to take that. And with the free time and the freedom, you can actually say, yeah, no, I don't like that. Or, oh, yeah, that's a good fit for me. 7 energy here. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Because this is so abundant. This is so abundant. Mama comes out on top. As much magic. That is a holy lingam. This is a wand of light. If you understand me. I had a song playing in my head for the past couple of days. It was Amanda Perez. God sent me an angel, right? It's been 9 months since she went away. Left without a word, nothing to say. So it can be a reconciliation that is kind of, what's 9 months from now? Past. What's it, March? June? End of July. Almost 9 months. End of July. Well, there's a spot to be filled because whatever this was, it's gone and it ain't coming back. It is GOOD good. I'm talking about boneless thugs. I think about boneless wings. Boneless thugs in harmony. It's all good. Yep. It's all good. So there's, even though it looks pretty, whatever relationship that was, the Hierophant, all of this here, it's permanently changed. It's permanently changed. It cannot be reformed. That's the void. The adjacent possibilities is sitting here trying to figure out what you're going to do with this mental space, with this physical space. Are you still where, because this is over with, where you still can plant? What do you do with it? Do you separate them, repot them? Do you do it in steps and stages? How do you want to move and shift all these pieces around? Because you have something here worth value that is viable, but it's like, what do I do with it now? Where do I put this time, this energy, this attention? Specifically, I'm looking at every little aspect of my life. There's 7 different areas of importance, and this takes me to a project that I have coming up for y'all, where I dive into those 7s, and it's like, this is cool, that's all right, this is all right, this is okay. Man, all these different aspects of life, they're in good standing. So it's like, mentally, what has you looped in this voidedness, in this, there's something missing, and you have the opportunity to grasp it. That's why this is being encouraged. Make a move, player. Why? Cause, man, just make a move. These two in combination is action being taken in some capacity. And it's a communication card, though it is fire. He has it here on the table. He has swords. It's a communication card, but there's a lot of power behind this. Just something very small. Because this one, this business venture, this financier, whomever, they're sitting with fairness, order, balance, karma, aligned with the things that they are doing. They're successful in following the law, but as well as cultivating much abundance with it. This is double Libra energy. So there's, like I said, this is a very fair energy here. Very fair. Fair. Maybe sometimes too fair, too objective. And that may deter this action of the magician paired with the Ace of Wands, because it's very technical and very legal and very Miranda rights-ish. It's like you have to say particular words or phrases for this to be acknowledged. That it's you can look at the Empress in one of 2 ways: as a businesswoman, as a person of legal standing, or a person of interest as far as an interpersonal interest. So it depends on what you say. This Page of Swords sitting right here. It's something based off of what you say. What's under here? 8 of Pentacles and 6 of Pentacles. It depends on what you say and what you do. These sit on either side of the 7 of Pentacles. These 2 energies here. It depends on what you say, what you do, what you give. This is reminiscent of this card here. You have to have the same types of qualities in your everyday dealings that this person follows in their higher guidance. You have to be equipped. You just have to be. So if that is something that you found yourself on, that you value, then they can work with you. You have something to work with. This craftsmanship, when I was talking about trade, a craft, a project, something, that is what she does. That's what she capitalizes off of and magnifies. That's why that energy is so abundant. So you have this abundant magician energy here with this spark of an idea, this Ace of Wands, the Page of Wands has to present it. It's like trying to get someone to back your idea or to bring support to something and to know that you're covered, like insurance. It's like it's that kind of feeling to it. So where there was an absence, a loss, a void, you have the opportunity to replace it with something that is in alignment with where you're going and where you're coming from. And you may not see it all clearly just yet, and that's visible here, but you're in no way stuck in a thought form to where you can't move. It's just so many options. Release yourself from the idea of having to choose a forever something. First, use your together. There's two aces. This is almost like, look at this. Wait a minute. Look at this. Look at those two. Insert here. And I'm not joking. There's two aces. They each have an ace. This person has an idea. This person has finances or a solid platform or a home, a foundation, or a way, a gateway, a portal, a specific formula, Libra, how to formulate this plan to get it to maturation. 7 of Pentacles, gestation, awaiting the growth of something that is budding, something that is fertilized. Successfully and financially, materially, economic and ecologically. There's a lot of protection surrounding these two energies. They're very similar. This is Gemini, Virgo, all right? Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Libra, Cancer, Scorpio, Mars, Aries, Scorpio. Death and transformation, living wills, death, other people's money. There's a contract going. There's a contract broken. Was it with a Gemini? The Gemini. The person carrying this magician energy is the one that experienced the loss. This is a Gemini card. Sun in Gemini, right? They experience this loss, but they have enough wherewithal to rebuild with it. This is double Scorpion energy in conjunction with Aries, the god of war. There was a battle here. They sparred here. And it wasn't even over, it was over other people's shit. It wasn't over their own, it was over the each's. Like, what do you have? Why can't I have some of yours? Why aren't you giving? It wasn't at all like this. It wasn't. Oh no. But oh yes. See. Because look at this shit here. This shit here so strong. This shit here so kismet. Ah, right. This was always meant to transpire like that. The only way, it's like, the first example I had in my head was not very good, but it was about waste, you know? It's like, if you don't empty and have that, like you can feel hunger and still not be empty, right? But it's a point where you know there is nothing left. You can feel the hunger, but the hunger is not the most important part. You know that whatever's happening in your digestive system, your stomach, this shit got to go, because it's got you feeling so, it's so, the kind, it's like you can taste the bile come back up, and it's like, I just want this out of me. This is irritating my whole body, my whole system, my whole attitude, everything. And even on the way out, it causes some distress or discomfort, but it's more relief than anything else. But knowing that you could move in any possible way you want to, there's still a, like, wait a minute, before, yeah, all these opportunities are open to me, but where I clearly want to continue, out of all the possibilities that I have, a lot of them are brand spanking fucking new. But there is something, there is a trade, there is an ability, there is a place, there is a person that deserves me to continue working and tilling and putting in the energy here. I'm just not convinced I know how. That was always supposed to end like this, because it's like, you have in some cultures where, way back in the day, like, that old adage, to death do us part. It's like, well, I can't leave this person I don't love anymore because they're not dead and I'm not dead. So we got to do this shit regardless of the circumstances. That is over with. Thinking that way, feeling that way, carrying on that way, it's not healthy. And that's the shit that's being, this is a real emptying of bullshit. The Hierophant, bullshit. Taurus, bullshit. It had to go. It had to go. Because this, even though it's sitting here, okay, even though it's sitting here with the devil and the Two of Cups, it's more than meets the eye. It's far deeper rooted than just this surface agreement. This is a Cancer card. This is this. They're equal and opposite. They actually can't get along and be victorious. There's something very specific here that has to be done. That's why they both come up with aces, one yin and one yang. There's something very, very, very specific that has to be done by these two. God, give me the card. It has to be done by these two energies. One of giving, one gives, one receives. How do you think all this lush greenery and all this wheat and all this growth and all that is manifested with the two, bringing the elements that they actually have? This is fire, earth. That's a kiln. You put, your pottery in a kiln, and now you have a flower pot, an ashtray, a teacup. I made a cup in school. Wasn't a very good one. I still made it. Fire and earth. My daughter took some Georgia clay from outside and made a bowl-like thing. that put my cedar wood on the porch in. She made it and she painted it. Fire and earth. But here we have this Capricorn Cancer energy represented on a minor scale here. This is this. This is really what it is. It looks like this. So the components of it being so intrinsically combined and attached, it's not the negative. It has been or has the potential to be misused. Magician, Empress, they both have the potential to misuse this energy because they're not naturally paired in this way. You usually see the Emperor, Empress, the Magician with, sometimes solo, like a bachelor, and the Empress is fucking pregnant. Could have had, if this is a female archetype, pregnant by somebody that is not this person. Maybe not currently, but the position of a mother. You see what I'm saying? So this is a person that can, shake and move and be solo. But this is a person who has to be stable, who has to be secure because she can't move like that. She could if she wanted to, but it's not home. It's not stable. But there's something undeniable about this here, that it requires two components to go in motion. And that's what we see here. This, after a period of time where something that it had a expiration date. It was like a ticking time bomb. Got the fuck out of here, right? There is much opportunity for this. There's only 2 cups to begin, but seeing the higher nature of it and a more evolved and advanced, this seems like a second coming. A second coming. Because at one point it went tumultuous, but there was already time and energy spent. So it's renegotiating, revisiting to see the higher octave of this energy. That's the only thing that can really control this, is the balance of it here. Having the ability to move when it's time to move is something that can bring victory, and not being succumbing to this energy to your detriment. It can be used as vice or virtue. You can use them both. They both have their uses. They're both very useful. And that is something that is divine. That lets me know that it was star orchestrated. These celestial bodies are controlling this shit. But it was also a manifestation. She's in her naked truth. This is air. Elemental air. Aquarius. Zodiacal air. That's thought streams. Streams of thought. That's what's picked up quickest and easiest of the universe. 17. 17. That magician, that Page of Wands that I spoke about with that Ace of Wands, where is that? When I talked about these 3, the magician, he's not showing all of himself just yet. Magician with the Page of Wands. And everybody talks shit about the pages. This is a motherfucker who has a lot to say, and it's only going to give you the headline. Extra, read all about it. But there's other things within that message, within that paper, that newspaper. You can read the first page. That's the biggest story. That's the most prevalent. But there are a lot of layers once you get into the editorials, once you get into the parts that you actually want to fucking know about. Some people go straight to the sports. I'm a person that'll go to the fucking comics and the Sudoku puzzles and the crosswords. I may read the first page and continue to another page and see something else that catches my eye, but I know what messages I'm looking for. So when I said this person had to say some kind of key word, something very specific, it comes through like the Page of Wands. And if you disregard the Page of Wands, you'll miss the message. This ain't no fucking page. It's a king. But judging by a cover, you'll never understand the contents of the book and the true message it has to teach you. So you can keep on overlooking and disregarding and bypassing things, and it'll lead you to this it might have led to this. It might have led to this. It may have led to this. Shit like that is what ends situations prematurely, because people don't know how to build up. They want this to this. That's what they want. They want to meet somebody and then happy family part. But where the fuck do you go? When do you do this? When do you invest your time? When do you give them while you're handling your studies or at work or taking care of your children or whatever here? When do you start to balance out your life to even allow another motherfucker in there, in the chariot, to help calibrate the masculine and the feminine principle? Because you can do that on your own, sure enough. But how do you go from the 2 of Cups to the fucking 10? And you got 2 aces here. That's damn sure beginning. We've never done it like this before. This is a new level for us. Ace of Wands, this is a new level of passion. We're going to try it different. Ace of Pentacles, we have to try something different, because there's a whole fucking void right here. And obviously, the way things have been done in the past are not working. So why would I bring that to a situation? I don't want to rebuild with the same garbage from the last experience, because I see how that ended. So I have all these different possibilities of stuff I never even considered. I'm a novice when it comes to this, right? So now I have to think, not with the mind that I've always had. That's going to get me nowhere. But I got to get my hands on what makes me creative, what gets my mind working and churning and bringing up these ideas. So I have to resort to my arts. I have to resort to the very things that I have invested time in that yield me good results, because the other shit that I was putting time into did not do that. So this is where I have to make sure that my intentions are straight, and I understand the responsibility it takes to keep things like that in balance and going, because it was imbalanced. That's why the tower fell. I have to work at this. This is something that needs constant effort and attention. This isn't something that I can just decide, I like this person, I want to live with you. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? I don't know you. So, right now, I see Magician, you have potential. Ace of Wands, I'm attracted. This could be the start of a new experience, physically and spiritually, energetically, right? You come like this, you're going to get shot the fuck down, because you're, yes, it's an Empress. But boy, do you not understand? I eat motherfuckers like you for breakfast. Come with the ego if you want to. Come with it. And I'm going to turn you down. Come to me sincere. Without maliciousness. Without your grown little boy ego. Grown man, little boy ego. No, you're going to speak to me from a sincere place of the inner child and express yourself, your creativity, your wit, your front page headline that catches the attention with them key words and phrases that speak to who the Empress really the fuck is. You understand me. This is who the Page of Wands, the Magician, really is. In comes another ace. So, the feminine aspect. This to me is double earth, right? We saw justice come up. I said it was double Libra. That was in that instance in her dealings with others. Because justice is karmic law. It's judicial law, regulations, things of that, courts, amendments, things that are put in place to keep order and balance, checks and its balances. That is that card there. That is justice. That's when things have, escalated from this, and now you're having to look at it in this form. That's when universal law will step in and put an end to shit like this. Okay. So I feel like that has already happened. In this particular situation, that is now there's a void there. There's free space. There's nothing there. A lot of people have been experiencing the demise of this mindset because there was already somebody there in that space that they had this. So they couldn't have this. With a new connection, it doesn't, like that whole middle part that's missing from the 3 to the 9 didn't include you. You were stuck here and desired this. Even if you could see it, you cannot get there from the 2 to the 10 without that 8 of cups, somebody walking away from it. But there is a pull. There is an ebb and a flow. It's a pull unless you have 8th house energy that really blows this shit the fuck up and severs all ties. It is the transition house. It is the endings. It is the living will, estates, other people's shit, letting them have their energy and going about their fucking business. Now there's finality. You had an Ace of Wands come up. You had an Ace of Pentacles come up. At the same time, you had a King of Wands, Page of Wands speaking energy come up. And you have a Queen of Pentacles and an Ace of Pentacles coming up. They're coming up true to what they're speaking, to what they're offering. They're offering themselves. That is very true to their suit, true to who they are. It didn't matter if he came up as a page because it's still authentic to who he is. He's just not stuck at that stage, but he can always revert and give you that playfulness, that lighthearted, that cheer, that creativity, that jokester, that playfulness. He can give you that. He can give you that. At the same time, taking action and handling business, running businesses, creating something out of nothing with the magician energy. Are you serious? Can you understand where I'm coming from? I'm flipping out because I see that this is next. Now, this has merit. Now, this connection, when it just starts off like this, you start sharing before you get to know a motherfucker, you run into the devil. And that's when it's, oh, narcissist, toxic. Both of y'all. Both of you. Because neither one of you know what the fuck you're doing. Neither one of you understand that there is levels to this shit, and you're supposed to ascend to this level of connection. This person in the chariot is whole by themselves. They have their masculine and their feminine aspects together, moving them and their decisions and their emotions in one forward motion that is victorious. This is two people looking for their missing half, and they are controlled by an entity in turn because they don't have this under control. Fourth house energy comes before the 10th house energy. You have to have home straight before you go out trying to make career work. You have to have some type of sense of home and stability. And a lot of times people do not. And that's why they hit this. That's why they hit the greed. That's why they hit the weed. That's why they hit the fucking casinos and they're betting on games and they just have no sense of stability, no sense of security, what is safe. They will take risks that are unfounded and not supporting their livelihood, not supporting their heart. It's more so a place that is voided. Ace of Cups. The energy, because we saw Magician, right? And I said, okay, because Magician not only had the wand on his table, he's got it with his hand. He's got a firm grip of who he is. We see this a third time. We see the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress, Earth energy, Earth energy. This particular person is very grounded, very stable, very abundant, very fertile. Things that she does is fertile. You understand? You understand? Here we have the Ace of Cups. So even if a connection had this level of entanglement prior, what it now has is an actual start, a real start, not an instantaneous attraction that leads to the devil energy, but you have an actual start, an actual pouring, an actual pouring. I love when a good plan just comes together. It was written. All the shit was written. It's the High Priestess. This goes along with the Cancer energy in the moon, but it also goes 12th house, Pisces, subconscious. So this is something that was always known. And that's why the mystery that is 7, the thing that gets looked at and investigated, there's much to be discovered with the energy of 7. So much so it can frustrate you and you can damn near want to give up. But there was reason not to. There was always reason not to. It just resonated in a vibration that said not to. This is a 2. This is a 2. This is an 11. And that is a 2. They are all the same vibratory energy. You don't know why you know. You don't know. But it is just and it is fair. Regardless if you know all the details. It's not for you to know all the details. Just know and understand that everything that you've been working on brings you stability, structure, safety, brings you home. Brings you home. Brings you home. So, not only is the magician, I hear a Nuckify book in my head. I'm not taking y'all back to my childhood right now. The magician is bringing something magnificent to the table. It's bringing a cup and it's bringing a wand. That energy that was above the Empress is bringing the air and bringing the earth. You got two majors complementing this particular energy of this queen. You have this powerful energy that combines these two aspects of this king. Other supporting energies. And you might as well say that these two support it as well. You have all water on the board. You have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but you also have Capricorn, Aquarius, and Mars. So that's like from, the only one I didn't see was Sagittarius. Honestly. You have Libra, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. You also have Taurus, Cancer, if you really want to throw them in there. And not to exclude the other signs, but what I'm saying is these astrological influences. Look at that. Home. It's all love, baby. It's all love. It's all love. July. 7/17. I stand on it. 7/17 is significant to me. 7/17. I've spoken about it before. And I still mean what the fuck I say. I actually saw, there was something going on. I saw scripture and it was backwards. It was 17/7. But 7/17, something about that damn July, man. Even the tower is a 16, it reduces to a 7. And 7 here as well. We're going to stay tuned on that one. We're going to check in. I see damn sure a new beginning. He better not be Jekyll and Hyde, but it's like a soft, it's a heat and a cool to this one. It's a heat and a cool, but it's so complementary to this energy here. It's so complementary. This actually grows shit. These two don't have that. That's why that 7 of Pentacles is a little, because that's not natural. It's natural for this energy. Ain't no third parties. We don't read for third parties. We don't. If you're attracted to readings because of the third party. You shouldn't be attached. Shouldn't be attached. So I don't do third party readings. I see that as one person. Again, another long ass reading. Going to sleep.